Hey guys, what is up? It's Seb here at Leading Man Attraction, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the 3 things that I learned when I was just starting out in Daygame that very quickly helped me to improve and get better results with the women that I was approaching. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is where you can learn how to progressively improve your Daygame and how to date the women that you want. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so the first very important thing that I learned very quickly is that the more you try, the less success you're gonna have. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't mean approach less women. You know, if you want to get good at something, you got to do it a lot, right? You got to approach a lot of girls, and that way you're going to get more approaches, more experience, and you're going to be able to learn from that. What I mean is, I was trying too hard to get validation from women, right? So I was actually seeking a good response. I was trying really hard for the girl not to reject me. Now, if you try really hard to get a positive response, it's actually going to work in the opposite direction. You're actually going to get more negative responses because you're going to look needy. You know, you're going to look like you don't have abundance, like you need that girl to say yes to you, and you need that girl to validate you so that you know what you're doing is okay and so that you feel good about yourself. The last thing that you want to be doing is seeking validation, okay? If you can approach women without seeking validation, you know, trying less, then you're going to get more results. Okay guys, so the second thing that I learned very quickly is that saying the same thing over and over again is going to get old, and it's going to get old fast. So what you want to do is build an arsenal of things that you can say. So don't learn just, you know, one structure of an approach and stick with that every single time. You know, don't always go in direct, you know, mix it up. Build different communication styles, and that way, you know, whatever girl you're gonna meet, you're gonna be able to have a conversation with her. So the more skills you have, the more successful approaches you'll get. Okay, if you always say the same thing over and over again, then you're gonna limit yourself to a specific kind of girl. You might get a good approach with a certain girl, but then if you approach a different girl with a different personality, you won't get that same reaction, right? And you will be limiting yourself to the type of girls that you're going to be meeting and having success with. So build a lot of different skills, use different openers, you know, use different styles of humor, you know, educate yourself on those things. Check out my approaches, because sometimes I'll go in direct, sometimes I'll go in with an observational opener or a situational opener, and look at the way that I make assumptions about girls based on their styles, the way they walk, the way they dress, even the way they talk, right? So you can use all these different things to elevate your game and to elevate your style, and you'll be able to kind of mix these and integrate them into your approaches. Okay guys, so the final thing for today that I actually learned very quickly, you know, on my pickup journey, you know, when I was starting out, when I was getting mostly rejections, and I didn't really know why I was getting rejections, is self-analysis, right? Now, this is something that you have to do, you know, as a beginner, as somebody who's starting out, even as somebody who's at a high level. You know, I always analyze my game. You know, what went well here? What could I have said differently? You know, because I got infield footage, you know, I always analyze it and I improve my game that way. You know, if you've got a friend who you can do this with, if you can actually video yourself picking up girls, then it's going to be a lot of help for you when you do your analysis, because not only will you be able to focus on, you know, your tonality and what you say, but you'll be able to focus on your actual approach, you know, the girl's reaction to you, you know, how they respond to what you're saying. And also you're going to be able to see your body language. You know, do you have an open body language, or are you kind of hunched in? Are you nervous? You know, all these things you can work on if you've got that footage. You know, and if you can't get footage, you know, just write it down after each approach, you know, what you did, how you did it, and then when you're home, you can analyze those things, look back on them, and improve on those things, you know. And you can have a look at my videos, my infields, and if you want to improve on your own game, then you can kind of take some things that I do and implement it into your own approaches. So self-analysis is crucial if you want to improve. Be critical with yourself, don't go easy on yourself, and that way you're going to get more success quicker, because you're going to be able to identify the mistakes and then remove them from the next approach. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. It's a progress that happens over weeks, sometimes months, and then you become better. But if you don't have self-analysis, then you're probably going to get stuck at one level. Maybe you'll get to a pretty good level. You can talk to a lot of cute girls, get a lot of numbers, but then you get to the really hot girl and you won't be able to get that number, and you'll be thinking why, right? And that is because you might still be making some mistakes that don't bother the girls that are like 7s or 8s, but 9s and 10s that are looking for that alpha male, somebody who has complete confidence, and you really know what you're doing. You might not be at that level, and you're hitting a plateau because you're not analyzing yourself. Those are the 3 things that I learned very quickly when I was starting out. So those 3 things were stopping me from improving. They might be stopping you from improving. They might be stopping you at a certain level in game. I would definitely recommend you do these things. Start doing them, start implementing them into your interactions and approaches. They help a lot of my students who are just starting out, and their kind of results kind of go from being pretty good to being really good after they start doing self-analysis, stop seeking validation, and they broaden their abilities. They try different things even if they are nervous about trying those things, and that is how they improve. Alright guys, so that is it for me for this video. If you did enjoy it, if you found it useful and you're new to the channel, subscribe, because there's a lot of things that you can learn here about interacting with women and pickup in general. Alright guys, that's it for me. Check out one of my infields, and I'll see you guys in the next video.